there's Papa with Leia and Harry leaving the subway station. We started home together. I was holding one of Papa's hands, and Harry was holding the other. Papa, I asked, do you like gefilte fish? Why, yes, he said. Of course I like gefilte fish. Your mother makes the best gefilte fish in all of Flatbush, in all of New York City. Everyone knows that. But would you like to eat gefilte fish, Harry asked, if the fish was your friend? Papa stood absolutely still right in the middle of the sidewalk. Harry, he said. Harry, what have you done to Mama's fish? And Harry, like all little brothers or sisters everywhere, pointed his finger and said, Leia did it. Papa turned to me. Putting his hands on my shoulders, he looked right into my eyes. Papa's brown eyes were not large, but they were very bright. Most of the time, his eyes smiled at us. But when he was angry or upset, like now, they could cut us like knives. Leia, he said, what did you do to Mama's fish? Please, Papa, I said, don't let Mama kill our fish. His name is Joe. We love him so. And we want to keep him for a pet. Where is he now? Papa asked. I looked down at my hands and began to pick my fingernails. I didn't want to tell Papa where Joe was, but he put his hand on my chin and he raised it up. Where's the fish now? He asked again. His voice was gentle, but those eyes were cutting me up. I mumbled, where's the fish? In Mrs. Ginsburg's bathtub. There we are, Papa questioning Leia. Papa started walking again, faster now. We trailed along behind him, not holding his hands anymore. He didn't say anything for a while, but when he got to our front stoop, he stopped to talk to us. We are going to Mrs. Ginsburg's apartment, and we are getting that fish, he said. It's your mother's fish, and it cost her a lot of money. She had to save a little bit every week just so she could buy a big fish and make an extra nice holiday for all of us. When we got to Mrs. Ginsburg's, Papa said to her, we've come to take the fish home. I'm sorry for the trouble. Oh, he was no trouble, Mrs. Ginsburg said. Well, he would have been as soon as you wanted to take a bath, Papa said. We didn't say anything. Here they are coming into Mrs. Ginsburg's house. Mrs. Ginsburg let the water out of the tub. Papa didn't need a strainer to catch Joe. He just used his hands and the bucket. It was much easier going upstairs than it had been coming down. Papa carried the bucket. I ran the water, and without any ceremony, Papa poured Joe in. He flitted through the water so gaily, you'd think he was actually happy to be home. Foolish Joe. Going up the stairs. Carp are for eating, Papa said. Just like chicken. You always eat 2 helpings of chicken. But we never met the chicken, I said. Papa shook his head. That's not the point, Leia. What God put on this earth to eat, we eat. We don't kill more creatures than we need, and we don't kill them for fun, but we eat what must be eaten. It would break Mama's heart if she realized you children didn't like to eat her gefilte fish. We won't tell her about any of this, and Mrs. Ginsburg won't tell her either. So nobody told Mama about how we had stolen her carp. Luckily, I was at school when she made Joe into gefilte fish. When I got home, I asked Harry how he could have stood watching her catch Joe with a strainer and carry him off to the kitchen. Oh, and that's Papa talking about food. I didn't watch, Harry said. When I saw her go for that strainer and her club, I went right down to Mrs. Ginsburg's. But even there, I could smell that fish cooking. Although Mama opened all the windows that afternoon and no one else seemed to notice anything, Harry and I thought we smelled fish cooking for days. We cried ourselves to sleep that night, and the next night too. Then we made ourselves stop crying. After that, we felt as if we were years older even than Mama and Papa. Sitting on the bed, crying about the lost pet. One night, about a week after Passover though, we were sitting in the kitchen helping Mama shell peas when Papa came home. As he walked through the door, we noticed that he was carrying something orange and black and white and furry in his arms. It was a beautiful big tri-colored cat. They had too many cats hanging around the loft, Papa said. This one seemed so friendly and pretty that I brought her home. Mama seemed surprised, but she let the cat stay. She was a clean cat and good at chasing rats out of our kitchen. We called her Joe. Mama couldn't understand that. Papa with the cat, Papa with the cat. I'm an old lady now, a grandmother. As a matter of fact, my daughters buy gefilte fish in jars at the supermarket. They think that Uncle Harry and I don't eat it because it isn't as good as the one my mother made. We don't tell them we never ate Mama's either. Enjoy your day, enjoy your holidays. I'll keep reading.